the relegations at this point.
SiNister are on a run right now, and it is time for CryptiK to get their heads back in the game. They're coming off a win just last week in the LPL Challenger League. And, well, hopefully they can replicate their success. They're currently the top of the LPL Challenger Series over there. So if they want to try and replicate that in the Pro League, they're going to really have to step up here.
Yeah, they certainly do, because even with some of the performances in the Challenger League, this is a much higher skill ceiling as well. And
oh yeah, this is a higher level of play.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with CryptiK, they can't seem to full-on stick to their plan, though. They have a good start. They have a good ability to out some of the roaming and some of the roaming players. And after that, just keep on just fumbling around the side and just can't seem to set up properly. But let's talk about the bans, though.
Well, I was just saying, one thing I will say for CryptiK that does give me some hope for them is they're on Cafe here, which is a map where we know both of these teams had a close game previously, and CryptiK starts on defense. Defense is most commonly a good map, a good side to start on here on this map. Get your comfort zone and start to move around with that, then work from there. Get that confidence up, something we've talked from Specker about in the past, right? Get your confidence and work from there.
Yeah, get your confidence, but maybe sometimes the confidence can be also that killer as well.
Hello? CryptiK banning
Wait,
Mute. I think that's one of the first Mute bans I've seen ever. Mute and Thatcher, hey? I like that one. So, Thatcher's not an uncommon ban. A very powerful operator that has a big impact when we do see it banned. The Mute copper with the nothing, JC.
Yeah, we
okay. Are they? Is this like a reference to the Mute ban?
Yeah, mute mains gather up together, because this is a sad day.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, as soon as that Mute ban came out, Sushi in the chat was like, "Good luck, have fun." It was almost like, I feel like that was like a throwing down the gauntlet. It's like, bet you didn't see that one coming, huh? Good luck, have fun. And then all the other guys on the other team just sent nothing in the chat.
Well, he's hoping that for CryptiK that won't be that much of a shot in the foot, considering that on Cafe, Mute can do quite a few tricky things as well with his Mute charge. But for now, overall setup, both Maestro and Echo managed to make it through the ban phase. And that is something that we also need to mention, considering the fact that both of those operators have a fantastic utility and fantastic weaponry as well.
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of overlap, but we will see CryptiK use both of them nonetheless. SiNister banned out the Mirror, so we won't see her played, and a lot of these anchors with ACOGs, and especially anchors with ACOGs gaining info. That's really what we see from Maestro and Echo here. SiNister does have a lot of utility to destroy the Maestro cameras with the Sledge and the Zephyr, but also the IQ to locate them and locate those Echo drones as well. So this is pretty good for CryptiK. I want to say also, with the Mute ban, they're going to utilize this Mozzie to deny as much droning information as possible. So I do like that. Man, this is the weirdest way to make a rotation hole I've ever seen. That was just...
Yeah, well, maybe
poking holes in the wall till it fall apart.
I mean, that's one way to go around it. But for now, Sushi will be the one to be playing on Mozzie. His, so far, PL debut is not seeming to be working out all quite well, but the pre-fires to come around from SiNister should be already keeping CryptiK on their toes, and considering the fact that it is a task for CryptiK right now, they need to bring things back if they don't want to get relegated. We should be seeing quite some performance from the defending team right now.
So the attack here on Cafe very commonly starts on the roof here. See, almost all players start on this roof. They want to get control of... You just need to establish a beachhead. The first thing is this top red stairs control. You need to make sure that Cigar's clear, so you're not going to get peeked through this doorway. Copper's cautious of that, so it's just going to hold the angle. Next step is Piano. That's why Fisher Guy is on this rappel to peek into Piano. He's quite exposed here, but it doesn't look like CryptiK's going for a run out, going for a peek onto him. And it doesn't look like it'll be too much trouble for SiNister to get control of Piano.
Yeah, well, right now, a dual pick to come out from the cigar shop as well as the... Well, potentially, I think, the cigar shop, as well as the bakery window on the top floor could potentially be able to force JCZ out of his position, but can he keep on holding it? Because the ADS will keep on chewing on the grenades and the impacts, but he does not need to be playing so aggressively right now, but forced to fall back will be giving full control of the piano.
And there we do see SiNister file on inside. Typically the next step is to open up the wall of Freezer, but there's a lot of potential for CryptiK to make that a difficult. Maestro camera will be destroyed by a grenade. Great job there for Fisho Guy, removing that utility from CryptiK. It's also going to enable a quick rotation hole into the bar if he wants to do that. Thermite charge is going to go up, and we should see CryptiK pushed all the way back to Cocktail.
CryptiK had a good poking hole as well in the bathroom. I'm not too sure why the JCZ did not try to utilize that hole, but it seems that Fisho Guy will be nonetheless punishing him there, as well as striking double kills just like that, but Sushi won't be having any of that just yet. We'll be going down to Luna, so now the planet will be starting to go down, and the whole defense of CryptiK is just all falling apart, leaving all up to Jam.
Oh!
The diffuser will be actually denied from below, but already SiNister players are on case here.
Very low on ammunition here in the FO12. Only a tiny amount of ammo left. Got to deal with these gridlock track stingers. Can she deny the plant? There could be the round! What are you doing? How does Jam pull that off for 1 versus 4?
Yeah, that
That's
was 1
crazy.
versus 4. A shotgun and a pistol in the hands and a dream.
No ammo in the shotgun too.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? What was that? No,
Boy.
that's not meant to happen. I'm so confused. There are so many things that went wrong there.
That was such a good start as well for the push of SiNister. They managed to take full control of B side. The plant nearly go down. It was a second away. They needed just a little bit. 2 times it was just this close to being planted down, but that was not the case. CryptiK once again take the first round for themselves, albeit this time off a clutch of Jam.
Yeah, surely that's not going to happen again. This is SiNister falling back into their old habits of, no offense, throwing away rounds. That's something that we saw SiNister always struggle to overcome. They would get into really advantageous positions, and something would happen. Something would happen, and it would prevent them from closing out that round. And it's like I was saying before, if CryptiK can get this early confidence here on their defense, we could certainly see a much more competitive game and a really good performance from them here on Cafe. I know it's early to call, but I wouldn't be surprised here if we see CryptiK win this map, or get a draw on this map, or make it very damn close for SiNister, because they're off to a good start, and that is only going to really snowball through the rest of the round, the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think right now for CryptiK, they need to, at the very least, draw things out, just to, for the time being, to keep them away from that relegation position and forcing Fury into that very disadvantageous spot. But apart from that, so far, yeah, it was... look, it was a good play from Jam. The rest of the crew didn't really perform up to par just yet from CryptiK. Whereas on the side of SiNister, it was a very prone to fail round as well, how they had positioning. Oh, nice shot!
Did he have information there? Surely
I think it was
not.
just the pre-fire at the drones as well. That's the fun part.
He was going for drones. He got a lot more than he bargained for. Now a player rappelling upside down and just searching for him. We've seen when Virtue from Fnatic plays in this position behind the cupcake stand, he does so much damage. No one can dislodge him from this position.
I like what I'm seeing from Nico. I like that LMG as well. That gun is very rarely used as well in the Pro League, just due to the fact too that there's very low and that very lengthy ADS speed. Striking will be the one to take care of Copper though.
So everything's working really well for CryptiK. Just 3 players left on SiNister. That Cloud9 charm really blinds you, doesn't it? Jam's taking a lot of damage. He does abandon that position on Cupcake. And in fact, all of CryptiK are playing a bit further back now. Most of CryptiK, 3 players away from the bomb site and just waiting for SiNister to file in.
Yeah, well, for now, this might be the case. Minute and 30 to go. And right now, SiNister taking full control of the front store of the bakery, leaving CryptiK at a bit of a peculiar situation because they have still full 5-man setup, but so far we saw plentiful amount of times when SiNister were able to bring things back even with a man disadvantage. And certainly it doesn't look like they will be even prompting to go for that main hallway push and potentially just go directly into the kitchen.
I like this from CryptiK as well. They've got a lot of rotation holes into the bomb site, and they're going to just play safely, wait for SiNister to make a move, try to go for the plant, because that's when CryptiK have the numbers advantage to overwhelm on the retake. The C4 prepped as well. This may well work. I'm not sure if that is in the right position. In fact, it misses. Doesn't quite go far enough out the doorway. Now a smoke grenade's going to go down for SiNister, but that's met as well with a gas. He'll try to make an entry. Nico can find one. That's a good start. Can he find the second? No, he's taken out by the C4. There's still plenty of time to go, but SiNister's not going to have any time to use it because they'll just file on in and all fall to CryptiK, waiting to receive a good second round for the defense.
There we go, 2-0 so far. CryptiK bringing things back after what seemed to have completely destroyed morale after the clubhouse. Seems that the tilt didn't really get to them, and that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, and especially when we're talking about teams that have a bit less Pro League experience. We're talking about only a couple of these guys. Well, actually, to be fair, right, JCZ played for Power Players for a few seasons in Pro League.
That's
Jam
correct.
and Striking has played. I just realized there's only one I in Striking. That just is really going to bother me now. His name was clearly too long, so he had to remove one of the I's. So Jam and Striking played for Taboo, and Serum's also had some Pro League experience as well in the past. So Sushi's really the only one who's never had Pro League experience here. That said, none of these guys have played on like a top 4 team for a long period of time. They're not quite as experienced as players at the top end of the Pro League, but I feel like you deserve to give them credit where it's due.
Oh yeah,
And not tilting, not letting that really get to them. The fact that they got absolutely decimated on Clubhouse, that's really admirable.
yeah. Them keeping it all pretty much mature and all kind of stable is definitely going to be good for overall morale and overall long run. But I am curious as to, can they keep on contesting some of that like stability for themselves? Because before, during the pretty much the inception of the Pro League within the ANZ, they were, well, most of those players that were in other teams, they were keeping a very consistent score. And even as a team, they, at least in the first half of the season, they were able to showcase that, yeah, they can stably stay around middle to bottom part of the scoreline, really.
So it's library defense now for CryptiK. They've rotated top floor, bottom floor. Now they have to move onto the middle floor. They've chosen this library one. I wouldn't be surprised if SiNister decides to go for something a lot more aggressive. Push into the bomb site really quickly. Maybe just rush into library, try to get that plant down. They do have Copper switching over to the Ash, so a 3-speed is really good in close quarters with the R4C. It's exactly what Copper's going to do. He can find the first one.
Wait,
and
what?
there's 2 frags with Fisho jumping in the fray as well. CryptiK will fight back, though, with Nico gone down. Now, this is where we can't let it slip away for SiNister. Copper and Fisho on this great duo, they do help it. SiNister shouldn't overextend themselves here. Fisho guy has the diffuser. He needs to get back into the bomb site and faster plant down.
Yeah, with already just the remaining person being Sushi going down, SiNister will finally be able to find themselves the point. And that was...
Man, I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. Are they just going to go for a rush?
They're just going to send it.
And it's not like they just, before the round started, they decided, all right, let's all fall into this one door and kill everybody. That's not how you coordinate a rush. No. They actually really coordinated. They droned out the situation. They found out how many players were where they were. They got inside, and they really did everything they needed to.
Yeah, and they used the Zephyr perfectly. So the moment that impact charge went off, Ash was already in that doorway. She was already going in, gunning for those kills, and was able to actually protect Fisho quite well as well, because Fisho was about to meet the gunpoint of one of the defenders and nearly lost his head, but Copper was on that case. So overall, like you said, this was a very well-coordinated push and a very, very well-coordinated aggression. On the side of CryptiK, I don't think they were really expecting any of that play at all.
No, they certainly... Even after they did realize what was happening, it was just far too late.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for now, though, CryptiK still in the lead point-wise. 4th round to go, and they are returning back to the bar where they pretty much managed to score the first round win off the back of Jam, really.
This is a good sign, though, for CryptiK. Sorry, for SiNister, rather. It's a good sign for SiNister that they had the effigy to bounce back. They really felt like they could just coordinate a strat and make it happen.
Yeah. And if they will continue that trend, if they will continue to keep up the coordination, I'm pretty sure they will be able to take the second map as well, which will be propelling them even further on the leaderboard, really. I am, though, questioning a little bit how will they how will CryptiK really pull this off? Because yes, they have the point lead. Yes, they have the setup, and they were able to counter some of the plays of SiNister. But after that Clubhouse showcase, really, I'm very much dubious about some of the successes of currently the defending team.
Don't think CryptiK's got it in them to take this map.
Well, it will be a hurdle and a half for them to pull off, all things considered, and they need to get as many of the points as possible on the defense. Like we said, Cafe is one of those maps that definitely favors the defense quite substantially.
But they do have that one round of attack first, and they did get very close on this bar attack as well. As you mentioned previously, it was just Jam on a clutch that really shouldn't have happened that gave CryptiK this round. So SiNister will take control of this red stairs. They've clogged up the staircase as well with those track stingers from Gridlock to really disable the flank. Now pushing on in, Piano is the next thing in their sight lines.
Ooh, I like this angle. I like this angle from Fisho, and it gives a clear angle as well into the right into the freezer. We'll be able to catch a couple of rotations as well off guard. With JC already teched up, he's bound to fall back to one of the safer positions, and he might be thinking that freezer might be it as well. So far, though, the breach did happen into the Piano, and it will be left uncontested, but there is a Valkyrie right at that doorway into the bathroom, and I don't think Fishoga will be finding her, not at least yet. The peaks to come out, and will be finally Valkyrie to be the one to go very aggressive about it.
Jam elsewhere does find the one kill onto Copper, the Nomad. There was also a play downstairs earlier for CryptiK, but now still inside. Ooh, here's a run out. This is a very ambitious run out. No way this is going to work. Striking. Come on, man. Luna does fire some shots his way, but it looks like he's not punished with a kill. So we still have this duel inside of Piano. Freezer's open, but Sushi is still allowed to stay alive inside of the washroom. Fisho Guy will try to throw a frag in, but I'm not sure if that'll be enough to finish him off. Sushi takes a bit of damage, but he's still alive.
Yeah, so for now, Fisho Guy, if he did go for a very aggressive peek, I would think that he would take it, but there is a ballistic shield in there as well. Oh! Vicious will be going down actually to the peak of Jam as well, who does have the back of the Valkyrie. So right now, things are working out pretty well for CryptiK.
This will have to be an entry for Fisho Guy. He does find the one kill. He knows the lesions. Watching this hallway, he just jumps straight on in. And that's a very dangerous position to be in. Now there's just two players left for either side. Nico can find... No, he can't even get that one kill. Jam's doing so much here. Plant going down. Can this be denied? Surely it's Jam to deny it. And I believe that's what happens. He did, in fact, got that finished at the end. So a great round for CryptiK. SiNister got close, but no cigar.
Indeed. Once again, winning the round of denying the plant. Once again, managing to drain SiNister's time for a fairly long while. And that positioning from Valkyrie was reinforced even further than I imagined, really. Having that ballistic shield, they were knowing that at some point SiNister would try to go for that very aggressive play, and they played off it very well. So kitchen service and cooking will be next up, and I do believe that that was yet another successful defense as well from CryptiK. So potentially we might be seeing a scoreline of 4-1 at the end of this round, but that's only a potential.
Yeah, SiNister got a bit stilted out last time they attacked this bomb site. CryptiK got lots of picks early. They had the numbers advantage. SiNister tried to file into the bomb site, get a plant down. CryptiK had too many angles to really prevent that from happening. I feel like last time it was those early picks, and then CryptiK's ability to play off of those picks, to play passive. Instead of getting aggressive on the picks, just know that you've set up the site in such a good position for a retake. Get those picks, you have numbers advantage, pull back, play for retake, make SiNister make the next move, because SiNister will look for picks. If you're not giving it to them, then you're going to have the numbers advantage moving into that end of the round.
That is correct. And with the way how things have been going so far, it seems that CryptiK did learn their lesson here after the clubhouse, considering the fact that SiNister did get pretty aggressive on a fair few occasions. So over here, it's certainly working out all quite well, reading on the aggression from currently what is considered now the team that could potentially win the series as well.
So it's a slow start. Looks like CryptiK playing very similarly how they did previously. Jam behind this CryptiK stand. He has ADSs to protect him. There is that first pick, though, for SiNister. The reverse of what we saw in the past. I think that was a cheeky little peek hole from Luna, just hit with a knife into the bottom of that garage wall, so great job. Jam actually still has ADSs behind here, chewing up everything that they're throwing at him. 3 ADSs, he pre-fires, but he doesn't find anything just yet. He's going to contest that angle, but it's unwise of him to do so. Nico does get the kill. And there's the 2 early picks, this time going the side of SiNister.
And there we go, and the first set of track stingers will be actually pulled out to start spreading it out and around to make sure that nobody will be there standing right by that doorway. So that is one of the really good uses of the track stingers as well, to just deny some of that area and potentially actively play off that as well, because even when those track stingers are getting destroyed, you still get the notification that they're being destroyed on your screen. And definitely rated. So for now, SiNister are 2-man up, and it seems that CryptiK are on the back foot once again. JC to rotate around, and he's the only one who's actually offside and could potentially be the one to make the big play here.
He does have an avenue looking into the bomb site, and he has a C4 as well, but Copper right on the red stairs next to him is the one he needs to be most cautious of. And all the numbers are falling for CryptiK. It's now a 1 versus 5 for JC, near impossible. He may well catch the drop on Copper. He does get the first kill. That's a good start, but now the attackers have bomb site control. He can't even... Oh, he can find one. That's a good headshot onto Vicious, but SiNister currently just delaying time while Nico gets that diffuser on the ground. 1 versus 3. He'll have to ace up here to win the round.
Imagine JC actually acing up, though, here. But considering the fact that already all of the SiNister members did spread out around, this will be a challenge and a half to find all of them, really. He needs to go for that disable, because all 3 of them are just outside holding the angle, so he needs to be extra sneaky. Fisho is the first contender, but will be the one to actually shut things down. Nice little angle to go into that double doorway and keeping it all nice and safe as well.
Yeah, nice adaptations there on the attack for SiNister, and as soon as they had those early picks, CryptiK's strategy just couldn't really work. They didn't have enough control. Copper's position on those red stairs really was hugely influential. The way that CryptiK had opened up the bomb site meant that the position from Copper could eliminate those key anchors on site, pushing CryptiK into an even less enviable position with so few players left. Playing for that retake only works if you have the numbers advantage, or at least a numbers equilibrium, and when you've got just 1 player, maybe 2 players left, that's just never going to work.
Yeah, well, for now we are going to go into Reading Room and Fireplace Hole, the last round of defense for CryptiK. And last time we saw Reading to be attempted to defend, SiNister just decided, yeah, we're just going to send it. Full aggression.
Yeah. And that super aggressive kind of rush strategy, strategic rush strategy, isn't going to work really 2 times in a row, at least you'd hope not. It's one where as soon as you've seen it once, CryptiK's going to be expecting, okay, if that castle barricade explodes, I know there's going to be 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and I'm just going to watch those guys. And you know, I don't think SiNister would be the type to try it 1 more time. I mean, you never know. Similar. They could try something similar. If they drone it out, they figure out they really think it's going to work. They see that there's a 1 player in their way. Take that one down. But I think that for SiNister, it'll require a little bit more thoroughness this round.
Let's see if that will be the case here. The run-out potential from JC could potentially bring him a kill, but a little bit, yeah, too early. Albeit that the relaying of the information was there. So if the timing would have been right, he could have actually gotten that kill, and there we go.
It was such a waste. I mean, that camera is such an obvious spot. Once the defenders know you're there, the attackers know you're there, he was detected outside, which means they would just look there, know that the camera's there, take it out. He didn't even go for the peek, really. He did it too early. I don't know, that was a bit of a waste for me.
Yeah, it certainly was. But oh well. So far, not a single kill on the side, and just as I said that I am expecting for at least one of the kills to drop, but it seems the only drop will be happening is on the red stairs from Fisher Guy to try to gain some meaningful ground as quickly as possible.
There are players upstairs that's ready to meet these attackers. Sushi playing aggressively now in the freezer. I believe Nico's above as well. SiNister are slowly but surely taking control of this top floor. They're looking in a pretty good position here. Still 2 players on the top to contest with. I sure hope they've gridlocked up that rear stairs as well to cover their back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. But already only the last set of track stingers remaining for Nico. Fisher guy will be the one to go for the push, and that will be into the bathroom just to make sure that nobody is there, nobody's holding any fishy angles there. And we'll be able to hold up a nice little angle and potentially could be able to keep things going. There's the coconut going, but the ADS will be there to save the roaming player.
Now, where are the drones here? Because how does he...
Wait, what?
That should not have happened. Lack of drones, but still Copper doesn't get punished. Fisher doesn't get punished. Copper also on the flank watch. He does protect Fisher on those stairs. It's really a terrible position now for CryptiK. It looks like SiNister will equalize the round count. A minute to go. A 5 versus 2 for the attackers.
5 versus 2 indeed, and it seems that we might be staring down the 3 apiece scoreline. Serum still having a nice long angle onto that white stairs setup. Could potentially net himself a kill, but it all potentially might be coming down to how will the two of them will be able to bait essentially that aggression. There's the nice shot, but as it stands, really, Vicious will be trading out JC, and after being tagged up quite substantially by Serum, will be going down 1v2, so this is now clutchable.
Yeah, this is definitely a doable situation for Serum. He didn't get a single kill on the first map, and now he has to get 2 to clutch this round. He may well have spotted the Zafia player, but
oh boy,
it's a dance of time. SiNister only have 15 seconds, and they're not getting this diffuser down yet. They just don't have enough information. Serum is in a decent position. Is Nico going to be able to get this plant down? Serum sneaking up gradually. He's likely to be caught off guard here by Luna. She's watching the right angle. She just needs to click, and there it happens. SiNister close out the round, and they equalize us, going at 3-3 into the second half.
3-3 indeed, and that was by a millimeter of a timing. Neither of those two players initially noticed each other. Luna was literally hiding behind the bomb, and Striking just couldn't find her really at that peak initially, with either through the actual fireplace or the hole in the wall. And that pretty much spelled the difference for SiNister and CryptiK.
I mean, I feel like most of that round was just little problems for CryptiK. And, okay, there was that one kill at the start with the guy in freeze that Fisher guy killed that he shouldn't have killed. It looked like SiNister was so lacking on drones that round that I almost never saw them actually droning things out. They did a really good job of holding angles, holding flank positions, like the rappel on white stairs to prevent someone pushing up white stairs. That was really good. Luna also got a kill in a similar fashion, I believe. But I don't know. I feel like they did get gifted that round a little bit, SiNister. It was some nice play. But, yeah, I want to see more drones. I don't know whether that was the Mozzie from CryptiK that kind of prevented that from happening. Maybe it was the fact that there was the Vigil, but nonetheless, they won't have to do any more attacks this map. And tonight, really, because we don't even have overtime here. So 6 rounds maximum are left. CryptiK certainly looking for that win, or at least a draw after that embarrassing performance on map 1.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, they certainly would need it to get themselves out, at least for the time being, out of that very desperate position, i.e. the relegation spot. And with Fury still remaining on a fair few games to be played as well.
As long as CryptiK actually keep up, like, I think Fury is honestly probably the team in worst position to get relegated right now, because no. Fury have a couple games left, so maybe they'll be able to redeem some points through that. But CryptiK actually have the head-to-head win against Fury. So if it comes down to a tie in points, CryptiK will be ahead.
Well, one way or another, CryptiK right now is staring at a little bit over that grim picture, really, because if they will lose this map, they will need to rely on just a head-to-head difference between Fury, and Fury will, for CryptiK to stay in Pro League, they will need Fury to essentially lose all of their maps and not even draw out a single time. Which we wouldn't want to really bank on. That's what happened with Challenger League before CryptiK really qualified, and it would be a bit ironic if they would go out like that as well.
Yeah, so it's the first round of attack for CryptiK. We'll get to see what they like to do. They do bring this Jackal, striking, playing with the PDW, no less. I love this weapon so much. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but really easy to control recoil, huge magazine.
Yeah, and an ACOG as well.
Yeah, ACOG to that as well.
There's all the footsteps that Striking is seeing, but can't seem to scan, maybe a little bit too far away. But the breaching charge won't be also making a explosion into the piano, allowing CryptiK to gain some entrance here. But all the goo mines as well. JC, where is your utility? You need to be right on point. You need to be spearheading that push as well to just ensure that you can get those goo mines. And it seems that Serum will be the one to pay things up for Fisher.
Wow, that's 2 kills for Fisher now. All downstairs as well. He's really been running amok. In fact, he's easily been my MVP tonight. Such a good game on Clubhouse, and now stepping it up as well on Cafe. Oh, no way! Does he deny the Thermite? Sushi on such low HP. A C4 desperately to try to take him down. Good night, sir. It's just 2 players left for CryptiK here, and this attack has absolutely been dismantled by 1 man, and 1 man only. That's Fisho Guy downstairs.
Triple kill for SiNister. Boy, oh boy, Fisho is just pulling out all the flexing power here against CryptiK, and it seems that CryptiK are completely toothless in that regard, unable to gain any traction for themselves right after those 3 rounds.
And there's just no time left now. Fisho Guy doesn't even need to actually flank you in order to be putting on pressure. He could just sit there, pretend that he's flanking. CryptiK can't look behind them. They have to look ahead of them. They can't look anywhere. 5 players to find, no time. It's a 1v5. Jam is basically dead. In fact, he is on the ground. He can try to withstand, but that ain't gonna happen. A flawless round, including a 4K for Fisho Guy.
I'm amazed at the skill of Fisho within the context of this matchup and today in general. Just look at this angle as well, and then the C4 through the very same angle through the opening in the wall. Perfect, just pitch perfect, trained, just wow. Well done.
It's pretty ironic that CryptiK actually brought quite a lot of utility to hunt that Roamer. They had the Jackal, great for hunting Roamers. They also had the Sledge, who's a great fragger downstairs looking for that Roamer. Fisher Guy, the first thing he did, kill both of the people that were hunting him. Just take them both out. And then he went and had an impact upstairs as well by using that angle from below to destroy the Thermite. Man, that was just so perfect. Everything that SiNister needed.
Precisely, and the rest of the roster didn't really need to move up around around the bar.
Just sit on your position.
Yeah, sit on your position, hold angles, and let Fisher essentially frag out.
Great placement of that Evil Eye there. Not one that you'd always look for. Often you're looking in front of you rather than looking behind you where that Evil Eye might be.
Yeah, but it will usually be harder to be outed as well by something like, say, frag grenades. You would need something specialized.
Yeah, you got to cook it if you're using a frag grenade, and we do have plenty of utility from CryptiK, but I think the key is just seeing it and then being able to use that utility. But this bomb site, when CryptiK were defending it, they had some mixed results. They had a really good round at the start where they got those first 2 quick picks onto SiNister and locked down after that. Didn't let SiNister really find any kills after that because they played more for retake before SiNister to make the next move. The second time around, SiNister got the early picks. They pushed into the bomb site, picked apart CryptiK completely. We'll see whether this... I think a key here is which way is those initial frags gonna come? Where are the opening kills? Is it going to be won by SiNister, the defense, or is CryptiK going to step up?
Well, let's find that out as the action phase is starting up. CryptiK to drone up and around with Jam potentially might be the one to take point. Seems that CryptiK are also prompting to go for the back push as well around the garage and the white stairs, with SiNister already prepping up Vicious with a shotgun, who could potentially be the one to dismantle things around. Striking already knowledgeable about that position of the SAS operator, and I think if Jam would try to go for the push from up above, they would be able to score that nice frag on him.
Very early smoke grenade, but as you can see, Vicious has been completely spotted out by that drone. There's a bit of utility to cover him with that. Oh, that's an angle. He shouldn't be peeking that one. Someone's definitely going to be watching it. And that's a nice, easy kill for SiNister to kick... for CryptiK to kick things off. That said, SiNister did find one in return elsewhere with the Sledge going down. Definitely worth it, though. JC here is literally just on flank watch duty. He's waiting to hear for this run out, pretending that he's not here. And Copper was very anxious to go for it.
Yeah, Copper wanted. He did actually go for a couple of run-outs, but stayed within the boundary of that bulletproof vehicle and will be able to take down Ash just like that. Not even a single point of damage taken, I believe. And I mean, 4v3 and CryptiK are on the back foot once again.
Great job. Ash Jägermain versus Ash Jägermain. That said, CryptiK have made some good control here. They've taken control of the VIP section and this corridor on the rear side. But they haven't opened up any avenues into the bomb site. Typically, you would open the freezer wall. Typically, you'd also go upstairs and open up some of the flooring to remove some of these defenders downstairs on the bomb site, but they're going to take out some of these players simply by holding angles and waiting for SiNister to expose themselves to them. This is actually a really good position now for CryptiK.
Certainly is. They still have a good positioning. It is a 3v3, and all the avenues have been opened up. At least a few entry points should allow the remaining CryptiK players to get themselves the frags and the kills. Striking to push it out with Sushi as well. Nico to go down, so that is opening up very nice angles, and as well as that, the kitchen, the half of the kitchen side has been opened up. Luna to take care of Jam, so the plan will be still finally going down, and now it is a retake time for SiNister.
2 versus 2 though. This is doable for SiNister on this retake. CryptiK not going to play safe. They're going to just hold angles. Okay, playing in the freezer now. One directly on the diffuser as well. Luna's going for the flank here. She's going to be instrumental here if SiNister can pull it off. But she has to time it perfectly with Copper. Both of them have taken damage. They need to play this perfectly. Luna wants to go for this flank right now. She's cut off by the smoke and she'll throw a C4. Copper about to push onto one player. He can find one, but it's a 1 versus 1 now. He needs to get this second one in defuse, but there's surely no time, and Striking knows it. There's absolutely nothing Copper can do. Find all the kills, but there's not enough time for the counter defuse. He knows it. He's going to get off and fake it. And CryptiK, a close but very good round.
Yeah, good execution and collapse onto the one of the halves of the site and being able to go for the plant. It was also a good read, the fact that Luna will be going in for the flank. And overall, yeah, CryptiK, albeit that at the end of the round they technically did get wiped, still good execution. They do seem to still be able to bring it back and not fully forfeit it, because at the second half of the, at the second quarter of this map so far, it looked like they were about to fall back, because SiNister did take 3 rounds in a row on the attack, and potentially that could have been spelling demise for CryptiK. But no, they still seeming to be bringing things back for a piece for both of the teams, and potentially we might be even seeing a draw, which CryptiK also do need.
And CryptiK are actually in a really good position now. Evening it up that early, it's a good sign here on their attacking half. When SiNister were on their attacks, they lost their first attack onto Kitchen. They only won it later on, and CryptiK retried that bomb site. So SiNister are just going to go straight away again, going downstairs. They can't return up to bar yet. For those who are unaware of the site rotation, in competitive, after you win a certain bomb site, the defenders cannot retry it for another 2 rounds. You have to wait for those 2 rounds before they can go back upstairs. So after this round, win or lose, SiNister can go back up top again. But I really think that needs to be a win rather than a lose, because we're talking about being... CryptiK get 2 more rounds, and that denies SiNister 2 points.
And SiNister need those.
Absolutely.
They certainly need, because right now, even with a 1 map, it's still 4 points only. So they need to get, at the very least, again, both of those teams would love to have at least a draw.
Yeah, for SiNister, it's also a lot of good upcoming matches, with next week them going to be playing Fury, who is alongside CryptiK. Those are the 3 teams right at the bottom of the Pro League right now. So SiNister really needs to assert their dominance over CryptiK and Fury if they want to make sure they're far away from those relegation positions.
I think out of all those 3 teams, I think SiNister so far are the most organized, because before Fury were able to pull some storylines, but losing Spruce right now is kind of putting it at a bit of a question mark, really.
Yeah, even after a good performance on LAN, where Fury did defeat SiNister 2-0. We'll see how things pan out next week for that one, but this is still SiNister's opportunity to prove themselves against CryptiK. It looks to be a tough match here on Cafe. CryptiK fighting tooth and nail for it after Map 1 not going their way. It's this kitchen once again. It looks like Striking, assisted by Jam and Sushi with drones, going to be taking the top floor, going to take entire map control. And typically what we see on this bomb site is you open up the floor, you can dislodge some of those key players.
Yeah, well, Striking had a bit of a shaky performance before with attempting a roam clear. So far, 1 round did go his way. The initial one where they tried to do a dual roam clear didn't really work out that well. So For now, CryptiK attempting to go for quick dislodgement of the roam seems to be working out quite well, as Copper will be the one to go down to a nice Kobe from Team CryptiK and would allow the front bakery to be taken.
Clearly not enough ADSs placed for SiNister, and they do lose that player very early.
We did actually see Jam sitting with 3 ADSs before holding the front bakery, and that been working out quite well. But
this is a really aggressive play from CryptiK now. They've taken control of that front bakery and getting really aggressive. A great angle from JC as well to cut off the closet. Now he has such a good position here to prevent SiNister from retaking. The numbers advantage hugely in favor of CryptiK. That's only going to get furthered. Nico has to clutch up here, 1 versus 5. This really doesn't look possible, Cthulhu.
Certainly doesn't look like it, as the plan will be safely going down. No denial at all, and what will be denied is Nico's life in that round, as Serum will be the one to take things out, and a flawless round as well, Dev.
So, SiNister don't go to kitchen. Yeah, no, SiNister aren't so good in the kitchen. CryptiK are really the team who dominated that bomb site. 2 attacks in a row, both of which were fairly convincing. And in fact, the second attack was only more convincing from CryptiK. They did switch it up a little bit. They dedicated more players to this front side push, whereas last time they completely ignored it. And I think that really maybe, when SiNister lost from that backside push, maybe they decided, okay, we need to invest more resources into that rear side push, protect the freezer, protect the VIP section, and CryptiK didn't even push that. They just pushed the front. That was where SiNister were exposed. Now, CryptiK are on one round until they guarantee themselves a point here, which is certainly a desperate position for them. They do have 2 very difficult matches coming up in the next week with Mindfreak and Wildcard. I think they'd be hard-pressed to win either of those matches to get a single point out of them. So
I think even juicing those matchups for a draw could even be still worth a try.
Oh, for sure, but it'll be very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
And so if we can assume these guys are not going to have as much luck against Wildcard and Mindfreak as they have here against SiNister, they really need to get at least that 1 point here on the draw, get themselves a nice leg up over Fury. They're currently, I believe, tied with Fury for points, but they do, as I mentioned, have the head-to-head victory over Fury, the head-to-head result. So if the 2 teams are tied, CryptiK will be ahead. And I really do think it's going to be a fight between CryptiK and Fury for that last place position, the relegation spot. Copper wants to go for the spawn pick. Nah, Sushi is going to take your head clean off. See you later.
That was a nice shot as well, because that was, I barely even saw that pixel when Sushi actually peeked for that. So well played by CryptiK to shut things down early into the round, and that was also a good idea from SiNister to initially have that initial aggression, slow things down for CryptiK, and then try to pick them one by one. So right now for CryptiK's, they need to be very careful and cautious about how they approach, because they may have a good start, they may have a nice few early kills, but when they get to the end of the round, that's where they start fumbling around, and that's where they need to emphasize their attention.
So maybe SiNister playing more aggressive was the play, but it didn't work for Copper. We'll see whether they can utilize it through the rest of the round. Last time this bomb site was attacked by defended by SiNister. It worked really well, basically on the back of Fisher Guy, who was roaming downstairs, got a 2K with his rifle, and then moved on with his C4 to finish off the thermite, deny the thermite charge on the freezer wall by some holes in the floor.
Ooh. Nice angle as well. Pretty simple angle from Nico, but could be very effective as well.
It's Nico we're talking about, right?
It's Nico, yeah.
He's the king of angles, and he's demonstrating some good ones. It really fits that operator and role of the Maestro. Hunting downstairs is JCZ. He's going to gobble up Fisho Guy. Great job there to take out that heavily impactful Mozzie and deny that vertical play from below. CryptiK's looking to be in such a good spot right now.
And that was the Mozzie that before managed to pretty much turn things around single-handedly as well. So for now, Sushi to be able to breach both of those wall patches, things are not looking all swell right now for SiNister. Vicious is just about to go down. He's literally in a slither of health, and will be able to actually force back to the white stairs. So for now, SiNister are in a bit of a peculiar position, because they're literally a 1 round away from being guaranteed that they won't be getting any 3 points whatsoever. And CryptiK are so close to gaining that draw point at the very least.
this numbers advantage squarely in favor of CryptiK. It means they have the liberty to play extra players downstairs. Sushi's going to try to go in this plant. Whips out the pistol, gets into that plant position. Oh, it's such a close angle for Nico, but he can't deny it. The plant's going to go down on the ground. A 3 versus 5 retake on Cafe Bar. Surely this is not possible. Nico can't find the first one. There's no refrag as well. Striking, shutting them down. All up to Luna now, flanking through Piano. She can find one on the drone, but she's got 4 more to go. 3 more to go, but there's nothing she can do to make a difference. There you have it. CryptiK up 6 rounds, and we have match points.
Match point indeed, and with this pace so far, CryptiK might actually be able to bring things back and grab themselves a match point, a map point as well, pushing them even further away from SiNister and Fury, actually, for that matter.
Yeah, man, if we see SiNister win the first map, CryptiK win the second map, Fury is almost certainly going to be hitting up that relegation spot. But both of these teams, they're fighting tooth and nail to get away from relegation. It looks like almost both of them are winning right here. By exchanging maps, they're maximizing the amount of points. When you have a draw, if you think about it, a win is 3 points for one team, 0 points for the other team. A draw is 1 point for each team. So there's 1 point that just gets lost in the mix there. So by both of these teams getting 3 points each, it's a much better result from them from drawing both maps.
Yeah, it's certainly a best case scenario. Well, so not the best case scenario, but more optimal case scenario here for both of those teams. I would say that SiNister will probably be still very happy with their performance. They did manage to get away from that relegation point.
The thing is, SiNister is a team where they want to be hanging out with the big boys. They want to be up there with Mindfreak, Oddity, even Orgless and Fnatic, rather Wildcard and Fnatic. That's what SiNister wants to be. Like, they made it to LAN. That's where they consider themselves, right? They don't want to sit at the bottom of the Pro League. They want to get up there and stay on top. And you can't do that when you're losing matches to CryptiK.
Yeah.
And that's not acceptable for their standards. So SiNister really, they can't let this slip away. Obviously, they've got to be happy with such a dominant performance on Clubhouse. Cafe, we were a bit worried coming into this map, seeing that it was a close game between these two teams previously. SiNister won at 8-7 in the Six Masters when these guys played head-to-head. But CryptiK clearly have made some improvements since then and are looking much better here on Cafe.
Yeah, and so far, even on attack, CryptiK have been proving that they can coordinate it very well. It did seem that maybe Clubhouse was a little bit of that warm-up, maybe a little bit of an expensive warm-up, but warm-up nonetheless. I'm curious, though, as to whether striking will be taken down on the run-out, because I do believe Luna is knowledgeable that there is a repel right outside the window.
SiNister seem to be still playing aggressive. I heard a C4 detonate, didn't find anything, but SiNister, last time they had Copper going for a spawn peek. This time they're throwing out C4s nice and early. They really want to find these early picks. I feel like most of these rounds, the early picks have really dictated the weight of the rest of the round, which way it's been falling. And CryptiK have absolutely gained their confidence here. You can see Jam here on the entry. He's got so much more confidence than what he had earlier now that his team is up, and that makes such a difference for an entry player.
I'm curious as to if CryptiK will be able to spot the fact that, hey, there is a hole in the floor where we got shut down before. I don't think Serum is knowledgeable. Oh, his position could be exposed very quickly if that will be the case. As right now, that shot from below could seal the deal. Fisho is the first man to potentially deny any push. And with half a round remaining, CryptiK are just about to start going for the big plays.
CryptiK are still hunting downstairs, looking for that player. That's the one that made such a difference. Previously, Luna's outed, but there's still that roamer downstairs. Previously, it was Fisher on the roam, but I believe it's Copper now, as Fisher's playing upstairs in the freezer, and Copper's not sure exactly where he wants to move to. He does not have a C4 to use through the floor, but he does still have that great rifle in his hands.
Yeah, and only with the last mag remaining, things might start to get heated up. There's the thermite charge to be denied as well.
There you go! A great usage of the Cade.
Yeah.
And Fisher guy as well with the TCSG finds a pick.
Yeah, finding a peak is definitely what they want right now, and Copper to take out JC is certainly something that they need ASAP. 3v4 with 30 seconds left to go, and CryptiK are now stalling out not what you want right now, but the breach finally is happening, so maybe we will be seeing some entry frags. Nico on the back foot there at the cocktail lounge should be able to deal just enough damage from the remote position, but the flat smoke grenades should be ensuring some of the good movement. The damage is being dealt so heavily, and Nico will be able to finish things off. The drop down full-on Assassin's Creed style will be ensuring striking the kill. Another one! No, just so much damage, just can't connect at all. And the time will be running out. Vicious to close things out. SiNister are bringing this back, ladies and gentlemen. 5-6 scoreline so far.
It took them 2 tries, but they eventually get Bar back under control. The problem here is they're still on match point. This is the final round of this map, the final round of tonight. 5-6. Are we going to a draw? Are we heading to a 7-5? And SiNister have to go to another bomb site. They've tried Bar. They won it twice, lost it once. They've tried Kitchen, and that just fell apart twice in a row for them. So they're going to try something new. They're going to head to Reading Room, Library. They won it twice on their attack, so they know how to take this bomb site. Maybe that's going to feed into their ability to finally make a difference, crack through, and draw us up here on match point.
What is interesting to me is that Cobra is bringing, initially showing Pulse, then bringing in a Castle. So potentially SiNister kind of toying around with the idea of a bit of a more active roam, having active info gathering as well with the Pulse. But instead we'll just rather delay the time, delay the utility as well with the usage of the Castle. And as well as that, allow some more movement room right now for themselves, because they need as much of the advantages, as much of the time drained right now for their defense, since they are on the back foot here. They are the ones that are about to potentially lose out on even 1 point, and that could make a big difference right now. Yeah,
it is SiNister who really get to dictate the pace of this round. However, with that Castle, that will go to Reading Room. This was the bomb site where their rush the first time worked so well, and their slow and steady take of the top floor the second time worked so well as well. Looks like they will invest quite a lot into this top floor. As we can see, castle barricades, a lot of rotation holes, shotgun holes being created as well by SiNister.
Yeah, they're just opening up just a couple of holes just to make sure that, hey, we are going to have just a good sight line into those peak points. Nico as well, once again on the cocktail lounge, will be the main troublemaker at the top floor, and he was performing pretty well, all things considered, having the ability to hold very long angles very steadily. Definitely shows a good performance.
So this top floor needs to be droned out. Serum does spot one, but he loses the drone for it. One drone for one piece of information, maybe a bit late. Fisher guy, however, does have a drone of his own there. Serum wants to chuck down a grenade, but he's not sure he'll get this kill, so it's a lot of utility to waste. It'll also be incredibly dangerous for him to jump down here. I feel like CryptiK needs a bit more information before they can make this call. He's going to go for this grenade. I don't think this is going to go under the door. It does just destroy the door, but doesn't do any damage whatsoever to Fisher.
And so for now, though, it will be able to put just enough pressure onto Fisher and his position. As it stands, the breaching charges are just about to come out, and boy, oh boy, Moze needs to floor it from there. And that's exactly what he will be doing. They are pulling back to the cocktail and the white stairs. And slowly but surely, CryptiK are chomping away at the positioning of the top floor roam, but so much utility already being used up just to make sure that the roam is cleared out. But if they will be able, though, to take care of all the roam, they will be at such a high advantage, because so far 4 people are off site.
They're all heavily contesting this top floor right now, SiNister, with these roamers. CryptiK clearly haven't read into that. They do take that first player off upstairs. SiNister going to stay and fight, or are they going to drop down? Looks like it's a drop down. So CryptiK should have this control of the top floor. They won't quite know it yet, so it'll take them a little while to realize. But this isn't a terrible position for SiNister. Despite being a man down, they still have wasted a huge amount of time. They have bomb site control. There's a pick as well. Serum gone down. Really, this will come down to CryptiK having to find the last of these frags or try to force down a plant on the site. And that's going to be very difficult with so many ways that SiNister can deny it.
Yeah, defaulting back to the side definitely worked out pretty well, considering that they didn't get, at the end, the trade with that C4. But I feel that the play from Fisher might be coming out very soon, because this man was able to turn the whole round around. There's the trade to come out on Sushi. as Fisher will be the one to go down. The plant needs to keep being stuck, and it seems that this might be the case. There's the down onto Jam, and the plant did go down. The shotgun is doing some amazing work, and it is up to JC to clutch things out. He needs to get those points. There's Luna going down. 1v1 situation. He will be able to clutch things out. CryptiK grabbing themselves another set of 3 points, ladies and gentlemen, as the two teams do trade the maps and will be able to stay away from that relegation spot for now.
And that turned around within the blink of an eye, too. It was such a close round, but it looked like SiNister was still in a great position. A really good entry, wasting enough time to get that diffuser down, and then a great clutch at the end from JCZ. Such a good performance, 13 kills to his name. Still didn't top the scoreboard overall with Fisher Guy. A great whole play day for Fisher Guy, despite the fact that they only won the one map. And that was a 1-7 on Clubhouse, tightening it up to a 5-7 for CryptiK.